Well, everybody freaked out the other day. Everybody said Matt Reeves is basically confirming that the Batman, well, at least his Batman, is going to be part of the DCU. And I hesitated. I didn't jump on the bandwagon and start doing a video and saying, oh, look at what he's saying. Look at this. Look at that. I didn't even jump on the bandwagon and say, no, this is false. We have to listen to James Gunn. I had this weird suspicion that something was going to come out. And this may not even be what's coming out. We may still even get something more, whether it's from James Gunn or Creature Commandos on Thursday. Who knows? Who knows what we're going to get? But I just have, had this weird suspicion that something would come about. But what I'm talking about is during the Golden Globes red carpet, or I don't even know if it was the red carpet or afterwards, MTV was talking to Matt Reeves.
Letting you do your
and he asked him about
have you contemplated recently
contemplating having Pattinson in the DCU.
You talk about everything.
Sure.
And this is kind of what he says.
What's your attitude about that at this point?
I mean, it really comes down to whether or not it makes sense. And, I think what's been great is there was really a kind of a story that I wanted to tell.
So first off, he says whether it makes sense. It kind of doesn't make sense. Here's the thing, and I'm not going to play the whole clip. You've probably listened to plenty of YouTubers and plenty of people will try and twist this to make it sound like, oh, Matt Reeves is confirming that once he's done, it's going to happen. Or maybe if Superman is successful, then that means the Batman is going to be moved over into the DCU. No. Look, Matt Reeves is not the head of DC Studios. First and foremost, we know that. He's not the head of DC Studios. We also know that Matt Reeves wants to have his own story. He specifically talks about how this is his story. He wants to create his own story, his own little thing, his own little universe here with Batman. He talks about how he how James Gunn and Peter Safran has allowed him to create and write his own story and has given him the power to do so. That's what he's talking about. Yes, he says anything is possible. He can't see the future, that kind of thing. But let's just put it out there as for what it is. He's saying what he can say. Like, he doesn't know what the future is because he's not the head of DC Studios, but he knows, and he's not trying to piss anybody off. This is a fun moment. This is a fun time at the Golden Globes. This isn't about talking about the future of DC. This isn't about sitting here pissing anybody off. No, the Penguin was up for awards. It won awards. This is a fun time to have. This isn't about any of that. That's all this was. That's all it was. But people want to sit there and try and twist it and say, James Gunn doesn't know what he's talking about. James Gunn doesn't know what he's doing. Obviously, Matt Reeves, blah, 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 this and that. First off, you know me. I keep saying that it is a terrible idea to move the Batman into the DCU. It is a horrible idea to do so. And there's other people who say it's a horrible idea for completely different reasons than what I say. But regardless, they're not idiots. They're not going to do it. Now, I said, I'm glad I didn't do my Reeves Batman video last night because I almost did. But like I said, I felt like something was coming up, and something did. Now, Andy Muschietti was on another show, and obviously it is all in Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish, and it's really hard to get a full grasp of what it's saying. So I did the translate on X at first. So I said I cannot confirm because, well, I don't speak Spanish, but according to the translation of this thread, according to this translation here, the plan is to have a different Batman in the DCU. This according from Andy Muschietti, the director of Brave and the Bold. And I posted this. Shocking that more information comes out. The person who is lined up to direct the Brave and the Bold. But now, once more people started catching this and started listening to it, obviously more information is going to start getting out there. Andy Muschietti on the status of Batman the Brave and the Bold. There are good intentions for now. The studio wants to do the film with me, and I want to do it as well. We are talking about ideas and about the story and tone. Well, there you go. If they're planning on bringing in Robert Pattinson's Batman, they're not going to sit there and talk with another director about the tone and the story and the direction and everything like that. But there's so much more to it than that. And here's the thing. There are multiple directions that they can take what they're going to do with Batman in the DCU. And we're going to talk about that here in a second because our friend, our buddy, Real Anarchy here, I actually don't really know him, just talk to him on social media, but he seems like a really cool guy. Andy Muschietti says this, and I'm guessing he broke this down. He goes, as everyone knows, the Batman featured in Brave and the Bold will belong to the new DC universe. It's quite obvious that Matt Reeves' Batman is not part of this new universe. However, DC and Warner Brothers are moving forward with the second part of Reeves' Batman series, which, as widely reported, is expected to release around 2027. This means the next Batman movie will take some time before it sees the light of day. Releasing two Batman films simultaneously would be counterproductive. What DC is doing is creating a strategy to ensure these two films don't conflict with each other. Regarding my involvement in the project, this is Muschietti speaking, there are good intentions for now. They want to do the movie with me, and I want to do it as well. I'm eager to work on the film. This is the important stuff here. This is the meat and potatoes of everything. All right? Because this is what you want to take from it. Because this really tells you the direction, what they are doing. And I think this is going to really explain how, what, and possibly when we see and how we see the DCU Batman. Might give us a little idea here, okay? Now, let's back up a second, because obviously there's those people out there who sit there and say, well, you can't listen to Muschietti because didn't James Gunn say you can only listen? What if it doesn't come from James Gunn's mouth? You can't listen to him, or you can't listen to them. Correct. And I'm somebody who says that all the time too. But here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. This is the director. He has connections with James Gunn. He's working with James Gunn, Peter Safran. He mentions that he's talking with the studio on building the universe and helping build this story for Batman. Okay? I'm going to trust him here. That doesn't mean he has all the information. Correct. But Matt Reeves as well. I'm going to trust what he says. And he's talked about how he's given full reign to make his story, his Batman story, his story that he has been wanting to create and build his little crime saga for Batman. And then we take a look at what James Gunn has been saying, which is seemingly countless times at this point, that the Batman story that Matt Reeves is creating is Elseworlds. He has said it multiple times. And you take all these little things and you start to put it together, people need to get off of this whole idea that Pattinson's Batman is going to come into the DCU. Enough is enough. Just enough. This is so much clarification of what they're doing that people are, at this point, just twisting facts. So what are they going to do? Like, what is it that they could be doing? Well, it's pretty simple. What Muschietti's saying here is, with the Batman getting pushed to 2027, it seems like it's delaying the ability to push and get out the Brave and the Bold. So when Muschietti the other day or last week or whatever it was, when he said that the Brave and the Bold was quote unquote delayed, I think that's what he was talking about. I think that now it's starting to make sense that what he's saying is that the Batman 2 coming out and being delayed is also delaying the Brave and the Bold, which I think is an issue. I think they should have fast-tracked it and got it out sooner. But what it makes me believe and what it makes me think is that their intention was always to get the Batman Part 2 out first and then the Brave and the Bold. And now that that's been pushed back, the Batman Part 2, Brave and the Bold's getting pushed back. And it's going to come out later. So what does that mean for the DCU Batman? Because people want a DCU Batman. Well, here's the thing. We're getting Robins. We're getting Teen Titans. How much stuff are we getting in the DCU that's connected. Clayface? Like, we're getting so much that is connected to the DCU's Batman at this point in time. Yet, no Batman. No. We're going to have a Batman. There's going to be a Batman in the DCU. He's just not going to have his own film immediately. He's going to be brought in, and whether it's could be in Lanterns, could be in Teen Titans, it could be in Clayface, it could be in another project. He's going to pop up. He's going to be in there. He's going to show up, and we're going to see the Batman. We're going to see Bruce Wayne. We're going to see the DCU Batman before The Brave and the Bold. And the more you sit there and think about it, the more that makes sense. The better that is. The more exciting that should make you. Because The Brave and the Bold is supposed to have this story about him and Damian Wayne. But how nice would it be to see glimpses of Batman prior to Damian Wayne being introduced? So we get an idea of this Batman, this Bruce Wayne without Damian Wayne. Maybe some interactions with the Robin of now, of Dick Grayson and him, maybe in some form or fashion prior to that. So then when we get that story of The Brave and the Bold, then it's even better. You see, I think this is how they're going to approach it now. And I think that is going to be the brilliance and more so an unfortunate sense of brilliance, how it all played out. But it makes sense. And while I hate that we're probably going to have to wait till 2028, 2029 for The Brave and the Bold, I am okay if we get some DCU Batman sprinkled out between here and there before then. You know, I mentioned The World's Finest just this past week. What if they do a World's Finest movie prior? But that's like Batman vs. Superman. No, it's not going to be anything like Batman vs. Superman. And it'll probably make $1 billion because it'll be done properly. Look, I like Batman v Superman, but it was just handled wrong. But if you do a World's Finest movie and you handle it properly, $1 billion makes sense. I don't know. I know. Pattinson's not going to be the DCU Batman. Regardless of what people say, regardless of, if Superman is successful, then they're going to push him down there. No, it's not happening, guys. It's not happening like that. They have another plan for a DCU Batman. They're going to do probably a World's Finest movie. They're going to pull him in. They're going to do other things with Batman before you get that Brave and the Bold movie. It's just going to happen. I'm telling you, it's happening. It's coming. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I want to hear what you have to say. I'm excited. You should be excited. I can't wait to see who they cast as Batman. But let me know your thoughts of all this in the comments below. Hit that like button. Hit subscribe. With all that said, I'll check you all out later.